All right, welcome to this video. We're going to be talking about a for loop using index within a list to iterate through that loop, grab certain items in the list as we iterate through, and maybe transform them. So this is a very elementary video in for loops. This may be your first for loop ever. And so that's what this video is designed for, to get you through that first for loop where we're indexing with a list. So say we have a list of string animals. So animal list, we have shark, tiger, monkey, lion, and tiger. So two instances of tiger, but nonetheless, we have a list of length 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And what we want to do is we want to go through this list, so one at a time. So we'll stop here, do something, then go here, do something, here, here, and here. Go through one at a time. And we want to capitalize the letter, capitalize the word. So as you notice, these are all in lowercase. And we have this string method here in Python.capitalize that basically takes any string and it capitalizes the first letter. So for example, if I had let's say, what's another? Dog capitalize. What that's going to do, it's going to return the string dog, but with the D is now capitalized. Okay, so a for loop, this is the flowchart. It's going to start at some index, and it's going to loop through and do certain things once we're in that loop. So this is the loop block. And as you can see, there's some sort of looping structure here that we go back to previous lines of code and we just loop through here. So that's why it's called a loop. As for using a for loop to go through a list, that's really advantageous because what if the list was really, really long? Let's say it was 100 things, 100 items. We wouldn't want to have to go through one at a time and write all these lines of code just to do the same thing, because all we're doing every time is we're capitalizing the word that we see in that list. So once we do shark, we move on, we do tiger. We move on, do monkey, we move on, do lion, we do on tiger. But let's say there's 100 animals, that would means all that lines of code would have to be written, and instead we can do that with just 3 or 4 lines of code using a for loop. Remember, computers are very good at doing things quickly. As opposed to humans, we're prone to make mistakes, but if we tell a computer to do it and with proper instruction, it's going to do it really quickly and not make many mistakes. So let's go through it. We have this for I in range 5 here. What does that mean? Well, range 5 in Python, that really produces what they call an iterable. But just think of it as a sequence of numbers, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Python has 0 indexing. So it is 5 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It just starts at 0, ends at 4. So what that says, it initializes I to be 0, right here. So we start on line 9, and we're going to initialize I equals 0. This is what we sometimes call your index or loop variable. And we're going to ask ourselves, is I in the range of 5? So we have this sequence of numbers, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Is I in that range right now? Well, I equals 0. It is 0, so we're good. We're going to move on now and go to our loop block, which is really lines 10, 11, and 12 in that code above you see. So I just wrote that out. It looks a little small, but it's the same lines of code you see here, 10, 11, and 12. So what we do is we say current animal, we create a variable, current animal equals animal list I. So I'll write it here, current animal okay, but I is 0, so just for clarity, I'm going to erase that and say what we're really doing right now is we're grabbing the item or the animal at index 0. So we look at index 0, the one in gold right here, and we say, okay, that's shark. So what that really means is current animal right now is really equal to shark. So it's really equal to shark, the string shark. Next up, we're going to capitalize that animal. So it says capitalize animal equals current animal.capitalize. So capitalize animal right now is really just equal to shark again, but now the S is capitalized. And then we're saying print capitalize animal. So to Python's screen console, it's going to print out this string here, shark. All right, so we did the 3 lines of code in the loop block. What happens with the loop now? So we finished our loop block, and we're going to go to the next I in that sequence of numbers. So remember the sequence of numbers here was 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. We finished I is 0, and so now it's going to go to the next one. So I goes 1. So now we go to I equals 1. We loop back up to the top, really, which would be line 9 of code. And we say, is I in the range of 5? Well, I is 1. And yes, it's in that sequence of numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So good. And we go back into here because it's true. So we go back into the loop block. And that's really where it's called a loop, because we loop around. So let's loop around, except now I equals 1. So we do the same lines of code. Current animal equals the animal list at I. But again, I is 1 now, so I'm just going to pretend it is there. And when we look at the animal list of 1, we have the value tiger. So we know that this right now is tiger. And then we do the same lines of code. We capitalize that animal, and then we print it. So by the end of this, it's going to print out tiger to the screen, but now with capitalized T. All right, and you can see this is a really efficient way, because now we're just looping through our list. We finished shark, we just did tiger, and we're going to move on and we're going to do monkey now at index 2. And what that looks like in your flowchart diagram, again, is we finished our loop block, lines 10, 11, and 12. We finished 1, so now we're going to go to the next one, 2, I equals 2. And then we go back up here. We say, yes, is I in this range of 5? Yes, it is, I equals 2. And so that means it's true. And we're going to go into the loop block again and conduct those 3 lines of code where we grab the current animal, we capitalize it, and then we print it. We grab the animal from that index, we capitalize it, and we print it. So we're just doing the same 3 lines of code that we did up here. So we get that current animal. Get the animal list at 2. At 2, we get monkey. And so then we capitalize it, and then we print it. So we're going to capitalize it and print it to the screen. And so by the end of this, I'll use a capital M, not a lowercase. We get monkey printed to the screen. And then we just continue on until we finish up with this sequence. So I'll just zoom into this bottom part here. We finish 2, we go on to 3. So we'll do the same thing here. And then we finish 3, we'll move on to 4. Same thing here. So what happens at those lines, remember we grab the animal that's in that index value. So for here, it's going to be lion, because now it's animal list at index 3. And then we capitalize it and we print it. And then 4, it's tiger again. We capitalize it and then print it. And then you may be asking, when does Python know when to stop? Or when would most computer programming languages know when to stop? Well, we increment the next I. So Python technically doesn't do this. but many computer languages do. We're just going to increment the I. So it's going to say, okay, we're done with 4. What's the next number? I equals 5. Okay, so I equals 5 here. Let's pretend that Python does this. Many languages do, so the same idea applies. We have I equals 5 now. And then it's going to ask, is I equals 5 in this range of 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4? And it's not. No. Not in this sequence. So what does that mean? That means we're not going, it's not true, so we're not going to go down in this direction. Instead, we're going to go the other direction. So we're going to follow this arrow now. And where does that arrow lead us to? That arrow leads us to stop. That means we're done with the for loop. And we can continue on with whatever code came after it. In this case, there is no code that came after it. But let's say, you had some other code after this and it said, I don't know, do something else, all these lines of code here. It would continue on. So this would loop 5 times, do whatever we wanted to do that's said in this loop block, and then it would continue on through here. And so at the very end of this code, if you ran lines 5 through 12, you started off with this list, shark, tiger, monkey, lion, tiger. By the end of it, to the screen would be printed by Python, would be shark, tiger, monkey, lion, and tiger. That's what would happen with this code. And you may be wondering, why couldn't we just print those out one at a time? It's not that much work to just, take these 3 lines of code and do it 5 times, so 15 lines of code. Well, one, it's nice because it's compact, just a few lines of code, which is always nice. But more importantly, if this list was really long, let's say you had, all the way out to 100, so really 101 items, 101 animals, you had to do that for each one. It would take a really long time. You'd be writing lots of lines of code right here. Be really repetitive, be really boring. A lot of copy and pasting. Instead, you can just write this loop, and the loop will quickly just do the action you want on each one, go to the next one, do the action, do the action, do the action, and do the action. And that is the beauty of the for loop. In the next video, you'll see how we can implement a for loop within a function. The same idea, it's just encapsulating it into a function.